welcome to another episode of the Therapy with Rikki podcast, where we talk about real conversations that you can feel. I am your host, Rikki McCoy, a licensed therapist in Atlanta, Georgia, and we come here to talk about all things life, mental health, and wellness on this adulting journey. How are y'all feeling today? If you know me, if you've been listening to me for some time, I always like to start with just checking in with how you are, how you're feeling. It has been a real, just out of balance week for a lot of people with this new moon. And I want you to really take some time and ask yourself how you're doing today. What do you need in this moment? Take a nice cleansing breath. Just inhale from your belly for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And do it a couple more times on your own, y'all. Taking cleansing breaths is the easiest way to calm down your nervous system and to check in with yourself if you have been going on autopilot, as most of us do, and you just haven't had time to pause and check in with yourself and ask yourself how you are doing, okay? So, if you've been listening to me for some time and you follow me, welcome back. I am excited to be here with you all today as we talk about a new topic. I'm always trying to bring topics that I feel like are relevant and relatable to everybody as we go through adulting, because adulting is hard, y'all. And if you're breaking generational patterns or curses or whatever you want to call them, there is no roadmap for doing that, right? And so a lot of us are on this self-care and this wellness journey, and we don't know what the hell we're doing. Okay. So I want you to find peace. I want you to kick back. I want you to share this podcast with someone who you feel could benefit from it, because you are not alone. We are all out here going through the struggle of living life. Okay. So we're going to talk about today how you know how to cope with change, right? Learning how to cope with change. Change can be difficult. Change can be hard. As a therapist, I talk to a lot of people about change, transitions, through breakups, aging, as we go through the different phases of life, navigating having kids, navigating becoming an empty nester, right? Like we're always going through some type of change in our lives, y'all. And if you have created certain attachments, if you have become really wrapped up in who you are and your role and the different roles that you play in your life, you may really struggle with change, right? A lot of times, as I'm talking to people and we're talking about our mental health and our wellness, I find that, we love to feel happy. We love to feel good. We love that good feeling that we have. But we don't like to feel anxious, overwhelmed, stressed, angry, sad, those not so happy emotions, right? And so what we do is we what? We try to avoid them. Okay? But I am here to tell you, as a therapist and as a realist, that grief, loss, change, breakups, rejection, aging, like these things are a part of life. And so while we don't like to feel the no, not so good emotions, they are a part of life, and we have to learn what to do with those emotions when we have them. Okay? So first and foremost, I want you to acknowledge when you are experiencing some type of change, right? Acknowledge that there is a change happening in your life. The quicker you can acknowledge it, the quicker you can determine your course of action and how you will move forward in your life so that you don't get stuck. Okay? So I want you to acknowledge that this change is happening, that change is inevitable, that it's okay, that all things are happening for some reason, right? There's some reason. There are a lot of times that we don't really know. We have to learn how to be okay with uncertainty. All right. So I want you to acknowledge that change is happening in your life. And as you acknowledge that change is happening in your life, you have to acknowledge that your feelings may change, right? You may feel not yourself. You may feel like you have low energy. You may feel unmotivated to do things. You may not know what life looks like for you as you take on this change, and that's okay. I want you to acknowledge and sit with the fact that this is creating some uncertainty for you, and that is what I'm feeling. All right. We want to realize that good change can still cause stress, okay? So, promotions, moving to new cities, new relationships, becoming a new mom or dad if you're a dad. Hey guys. Whatever it is, good change still causes stress, y'all. I remember when I was pregnant with my son, I was so excited to become a mom, but I was so afraid to become a mom at the same time because I knew that who I was and what my life looked like in that present moment was going to change. And so while I was excited, there was stress, there was anxiousness, there was, this idea or of not knowing like what my life was going to look like in the next few months when my baby was here. I also struggled a lot, and I see a lot of people who also struggle with relocating to a new city. So while you relocate for the job or the relationship or just a new start, you're excited to go to your new city and to go and have like a new beginning, a fresh start, right? But it still brings about some type of stress because what you were used to doing, your routine, the patterns, the things that you did on a day to day, they are going to change. Okay. So, not all stress is bad when it comes to change, right? Like, there is stress involved with good change as well. Um, Keep a routine as much as possible. If you're going through any type of change, keep a routine as much as possible. Your self care routine, I'm a self care queen, y'all. Why am I the self care queen? Why do I talk to y'all so much about self care? Because self care keeps us on a routine. If I am making time consistently every day on my calendar, I hope y'all are using y'all's calendars, it is going to help reduce my stress in life, regardless of what I have going on. Okay. So it is going to help me navigate my stress because I'm going to keep a routine as much as possible because that is the only part that I can control. Okay. Whenever we have uncertainty in life, we get anxious, we get out of whack because we like to control the narrative. We like to control the things. We like to, like I mentioned earlier, control as much as we can so that we're not hurt or disappointed. It's not realistic. And so, part of releasing your anxious thoughts, part of releasing the uncertainty is keeping some type of routine as much as possible. You can create that structure for yourself. A lot of clients I talk to when we, quit or get laid off or we let go of a job or whatever, we are counting on that job to provide our structure. I want you to create your structure for yourself. I want you to create a structure around your mental health, your peace, your physical health, your wellness, and all of the goals, all of the hobbies, all of the things that bring you joy in life. And then we fit those other things around that, right? So work with the time that you have. Keep a routine as much as possible, okay? If you're moving, if you're relocating, unpack as soon as you can, right? Get that clutter out, declutter your space, your car, all of those things so that you can get to a baseline of functioning. Like our spaces are a reflection of how we feel and what's going on in our lives, right? So if it's chaotic, guess how we're going to feel? Chaotic, right? So keep a routine as much as possible. You can create your own routine, a morning routine, some type of midday check in, refresh, reboot. Think about yourself like a laptop or a computer. Our computers, they start making noise. They start letting us know, like, hey, I'm getting overheated, right? You're overworking me. You've been sitting at the computer all day. We got too many tabs open, right? That's like your mind, y'all. You got too many tabs open. Your mind is everywhere. It's all over the place. Like, you need to restart your computer, you need to restart yourself. So a midday restart, it is really a reset. I love my midday resets. That could be a walk. That could be some type of exercise activity. That can also be you meditating for 10 or 15 minutes, eating your lunch, taking your break from your workday, whatever it is that you have going on, however you're filling your time, take a break. It's going to be there when you get back, but you have to feed yourself mind, body, and spirit. Food produces energy. The food is going to help us focus. It's going to help us be productive. The movement, the walking, the exercise is going to get us flowing as well. It's going to release that negative, anxious energy, and it's going to help us to focus and concentrate and realign our thought process to the present moment. What we want to do is bring ourselves back to the present moment at all times, because we spend a lot of time either in the past on the things that have hurt us, the things that have, or the people that have let us down, and we stay stuck there, or we spend a lot of time in the future on things we don't even know are going to happen. We have no idea. We just think it's going to happen. It may or may not. We waste our energy, y'all. Overthinking is a waste of your energy. And so I want you to think about protecting your peace means preserving your energy, means that you have control over what you think about. And I know it doesn't feel like that in the moment, but this is work. It's just like strengthening a muscle, okay? The more you work to reframe your thoughts, the easier it will become. But we got to start somewhere, okay? So we want to keep our routine as much as possible. We want to try to be mindful about what we're eating when we're going through some type of change. Y'all, I know y'all know this. I know it's hard. I like food too. But we have to do all things in moderation, okay? What you put into your body matters. I'm not saying you got to be extreme with it, but we need to be mindful about what we're putting in our bodies. Certain foods that we eat can make us feel stressed. Certain foods can make us feel anxious. Certain substances can make us feel stressed or anxious or depressed, right? You got to pay attention. We have a mind and body connection. We have that gut health that people talk about. Your gut is connected to your brain health. I know me for myself, dairy and sugar can make me feel so anxious. Wine, too many glasses of wine can make me feel anxious and a little depressed the next day, depending on how much I drink. And so it's just about learning yourself. We want to tune into ourselves. I need y'all to learn how to pause and be still and check in with yourself and pay attention to what your mind and body and your spirit are trying to tell you about your life. Are you in alignment with who you are and where you're supposed to be? Or do we have some tweaking to do, right? And so I want you to try to think about that. Exercise. Exercise for the right reason, y'all. What does that mean? A lot of times we're exercising because we want to look a certain way. We're only going to focus on those booty exercises because we want that booty to look a certain way, okay? We're going to focus on that stomach because we want that tummy to look a certain way, okay? But I want you to exercise because you know that it will increase your focus, your concentration, boost your energy, boost your happy hormones. What are happy hormones? Your serotonin and your endorphin levels. Working out will boost your mood. I don't know how else to say that to make it, receive it, understand it, digest it, whatever you need to do. Movement equals good energy. Movement equals happy. Okay? I feel the sexiest and the happiest and the most like myself after a yoga flow and after some type of dance or twerk session. Okay? So if you follow me and you see me dancing around, and y'all know I talk about yoga all the time. I love yoga. Yoga is one of the exercises that helped me learn how to get back into my body after having my son, right? And so your body changes after you have a kid. And I wasn't super confident around the changes that my body went through. And so yoga helped me tap back into my feminine energy, my sensuality, my sexuality. It helped me to love myself, love my body. And I feel so good after a yoga class or flow. that it has become a part of my routine on a regular basis. And the routine can look different if you need it to, right? So when I'm traveling, I might not do yoga as long, right? If I'm home and I don't have any distractions, I may do a longer flow. And so the flow can look however you need it to, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it is that you have, but show up for yourself the same way that we're showing up for everybody else. Just show up for yourself. That's all we're asking you to do. I want you to do that for yourself. Just try it. Work out for the right reasons. Your body will follow. When you're vibrating high, when your energy is good, when you're feeling sexy and confident about yourself, your body is going to do what it needs to do, honey. And then you're going to be more cautious about what you're eating because you're going to see the work that you're doing finally pay off. And it's going to make you go even harder. Okay? So be patient on your journey. Be patient when you're going through a transition or change. And just show up for yourself and figure out what that means, right? You can show up for yourself in so many ways. All right? Seek support when you need to. It is okay to ask for help. Again, as a therapist, I know I might be a little biased, but guess why? Because it's okay to ask for help. We need more therapists who look like us, who we can relate to, who can speak our lingo, who knows what it means to go out, to twerk, to do certain things in our culture that other cultures just may not understand. And so that's why I like doing the work that I do. But seek support. Support can be family or friends as well. But I will say this, let it be people that are interested in your growth. Let it be people that they want to see you do well, right? Let it be people that are going to hold you accountable. I had a conversation with a friend this week, and as I'm trying to get to know her, and I want to get to know her, and I'm very cautious about how I show up in my life, in my personal life, because I don't want to show up as the therapist friend, right? I don't want to show up like that. I want to show up as my natural self, and I want to really be your friend. But I'm also going to hold you accountable, right? Because I hold everybody in my life accountable. I want to see you grow. I want to see you do better. And so I asked her how she wanted that feedback. Do you like being held accountable? Because that's important to me. That's something that I need to know. But that is support. So support can look how you need it to look. But make sure it's people that have your best interests. Make sure it's people that are also growing and learning themselves. Like, what's the saying? Like, you don't want to be the only smart person in the room, or you don't want to take like marriage advice from somebody that's not married or never been married or never had like a long-term relationship, right? Or, it's kind of difficult to take advice from a person that's never been a parent, right? It's just real, y'all. It is what it is. It's no offense. It's no shade. It's no nothing. Find people that support you, that can understand what you're going through. Okay. A lot of times as millennials and entrepreneurs and professionals and, us that are hustling and grinding and doing the work, I'm so grateful that we are here. A lot of times our parents can't relate to that. The generations before us are struggling with the idea that we could just let go of that security that they once held on so tightly to, right? They might not be the best people to talk to about your entrepreneurship journey, but maybe your relationship journey, or maybe, something else that they can relate to. So be mindful of the support that you seek, but do know that if you go to therapy, you can have a bomb therapeutic relationship with your therapist. We don't just talk about bad things, y'all. We talk about so many good things. I love talking to my clients because we have so many wins that we talk about. We talk about, all the things they have going on in their life that are good too. So it's not always bad. It's a safe place for you to go and just be. And it's okay for you to show up there. It's okay for you to take the armor off that we put on when we go out here and we fight the fight of life every day. And so I do want to encourage you to find somebody to talk to if you've never tried therapy. There are directories, Therapy for Black Girls, Psychology Today. There are so many other therapy directories, y'all. Google. Y'all know how to find Lash Tech and Beyonce tickets and, hot flights, right? So just do the work. Invest in yourself. And that's all I got to say about that. And then write down the positive things that you're going to experience in your change, right? And so while change is hard, here is what I have to look forward to. I'm moving to a new city. I'm going to miss my people. I'm going to miss the things that brought me joy in that city. But I have the opportunity and space to continue growing as a person. And I have my own personal goals. And I can meet new people along the way. I can create space for new opportunities and new things to, happen in my life. And so we create space for newness. And that's exciting. That's something to look forward to. If we're going through a breakup or a divorce, then guess what? We have an opportunity to meet somebody else or not, if that's your choice, who aligns with us. And sometimes we outgrow people and we outgrow situations, and it hurts and it's painful. And we need to acknowledge that hurt and pain that we feel, but not staying stuck in it. There's something to look forward to in every experience that you're having. All right. That's my piece. We got to learn how to cope with change. Ultimately, change is a part of life. You can't avoid it. Pain is a part of life. You can't avoid it. Rejection is a part of life. You can't avoid it. But ultimately, these things are happening because we are on this journey of alignment. So at some point, it has to happen. And if you are doing the work, if you are on your healing journey, you're going to be presented with opportunities to prove that you're ready to make the changes. You're going to be presented with the opportunity to use the skills that you're learning in your day-to-day life. So don't be surprised when that opportunity comes up for you to speak up for yourself, for you to say that something is no longer working for you, and for you to remove yourself because you are responsible for your own life. Okay? It is nobody else's responsibility. We can't just walk away or want that person to walk away from us and let them do the work. You can do your own work. You can do hard things. That's one of my favorite affirmations, to remind myself when I don't feel like it, that you can do the hard things, y'all. Have a good week. I'm glad we got through this episode today because your girl was really contemplating if I was going to give y'all an episode or not. But I'm here. I'm authentic and I'm true in who I am. And I did have a great topic for you all today. So I hope it is beneficial. Please share, subscribe, review your girl on the podcast, y'all. Share it with somebody that you feel like could really use it. I look forward to holding space for you all next week. And if you're in Atlanta, I am having a yoga class and a sound healing session this Sunday, March 26th at Haven Yoga. Okay. And it is going to be a root chakra experience. If you're into your chakras and you know what the root chakra is, good for you. If you don't, the root chakra, so your chakras are life energy, and that is where, our energy is housed along our spinal column. So from the base of our spine all the way up to the crown, and each chakra represents a different part of who we are on this journey of life, okay? And so the root chakra is the first chakra. It's at the base, it's in that pelvic area, and it's where insecurity is housed. That is where lack, limitation, all of those things are there. Depression, anxiety, fear. If you are struggling with any of those things, you may have a root chakra that is out of balance, okay? And so the yoga class is going to focus on releasing any blocked in anxiety, stress, emotions, any blockages that might be in your root chakra. We are going to do some very gentle yoga, okay? So all levels are welcomed, all genders are welcome, adults only, so that we can really focus. And I want you to come. If you have been thinking and wanting to learn more about holistic wellness, come, okay? Come. It's a vibe. You gonna feel good. We're gonna raise your vibrations. I got a bomb playlist waiting for y'all. And I want you to really come. I want to really hold space for you. We will also do a root chakra meditation and sound healing experience. And so if you have never experienced a sound healing session, this is also an opportunity for that as well, where you can come And there are just so many other ways of healing yourself, okay? Mind, body, and spirit. And so it is my goal to introduce you to all of the things. All right? Come out, join me if you can. And I look forward to talking to y'all next week. Peace and love.